was friends with one of them. If I was friends with one of them before the breakup, that's who I'm going to remain friends with, because that's my friend. That's who I know. I'm not going to leave that friend, you know. So I'll remain friends with that person. Now, it's different if you just met them while they were a couple. Let's say you go on vacation or something and you meet this amazing couple and you all become friends and whatever, you meet them at the same time. That's a challenge. Then I think I would probably stay friends with the one who didn't cause the drama. You know, I'd be like, listen, it whoever did the dirty, then that person's got to go. You know, I don't want no negative energy around me. You've got to go. I'll remain friends with the person who was done wrong. Put it like that. I always love an underdog. You know, it's my thing.
So okay. I don't know who I would be friends with. I really don't.
Really?
That one, I don't know. If the person is my friend, as you said, I would go with them. Like, you know, that's loyalty right there. Regardless if they cause the problem or not, I'm going to stick with them.
Okay.
But my thing is, what if you meet somebody, you meet them both, as you said, right? I don't think I would. I don't know. That's a. I don't know.
What do you mean?
Is it the Heineken hitting in quick, fast enough?
That Heineken is kicking in because you are not making any kind of sense right now. So start over, take a breath, slow down, girl.
No, what I'm saying is, if I met them at the same time, I think I would go to who I'm more close with at the time. Because two of them you can't be close with at the same time. Like,
right, you can't be.
So I think I would go with who I'm close with.
Got you.
Got
you. Yeah, I hear you. Honestly, and I respect that. But for me, like I said, you know, it's kind of hard because even if I'm close to this person and we're friends, but that person, you know, you're right, Reese, because like right now my girlfriend, you know, and her husband, and we're friends, we're all friends,
right?
If something happened, and even if she's the one who did it,
you're gonna go, you know what I'm saying?
I would tell her about herself, but I probably
you're gonna be loyal, right?
Be friends with her, and you know, and not the husband.
Right, there's no doubt with being, there's no doubt with,
but you're always closer to one than the other. I doubt that you're like tight with both of them at the same time. There's always got to be one that you might be a little bit closer with than the other one, you know. And then
it's
for
true
me,
because right now my best friend, right, the one in Atlanta, I know the two of them. You right? I know the two of them. But what I would talk to her about, I'm not talking to him about. Right. We talk about more stuff than, you know, we family and everything, but I'm gonna go with her.
Yeah. Usually, you know, that's the case. And then for me personally, I don't know about everybody else, the last thing I want is for her to think that, oh, you just waited for me and my husband or whatever to break up, and now you and him are chum tight. Nope.
Yeah. And then that's another thing.
That's the other drama. It's like, wait a minute, you chose him over me. So were you just waiting for this opportunity? You were waiting for your chance to slide in here?
You know, and then that's another thing too. What if, say for instance, you and your husband break up and I'm like, yo, Carol, I'm like more friends with your husband. That look kind of, I mean, the outside is going.
Yeah, it looks kind of weird. It's like we were all friends, whatever, but you're more friends with my husband than you were with me. What is up with that? Then I'm definitely gonna be looking at you with the side eye, like, I don't.
And then that's when all of the foolishness start and say, oh, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's a whole lot of problems. So for everybody
else,
you
know why I asked that question? Why? Because you know I'll be watching my little shows on TV. So I watch Huntsville, what's the name of the show, where Married in Huntsville or whatever. Okay. And the couple broke up. They started the show being married, but now they're divorced, right? Now they're divorced. So they have mutual friends because it was a group of them. So no, when one person having a party, they're like, okay, so are we going to invite this person because the wife is coming and, it's weird. You know what I'm saying? So
It's true. It's weird.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, okay, am I going to invite Carol or am I going to invite the hubby? We don't know. And, that's where, and then he was like, so why I'm getting a second invite just because she can't come? Y'all asking me to come now, Stuff like, where's the loyalty?
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yes, don't I know it?
Listen, everybody better come on my side, okay? All right, that's loyalty. Regardless if I'm wrong or right, come on my side.
Yeah, it depends on who I'm closer to. And usually, sometimes when you have a husband and wife, it's kind of
listen. I don't care what you say. You supposed to be my friend.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks kind of suspect if all of a sudden you and the husband, even if she did wrong, then you're supposed to tell her about herself.
Like, listen here, Reese. You know you was wrong for that, which I know you would say that. You said on a normal day.
Yep.
You said on a
yep.
you said on a normal day. So
like, you're wrong for that. You were out of line. You did wrong. You messed up, and you know you did. So just stop doing what you're doing and fix the problem. And if you're not going to fix the problem, okay, just walk away.
Yes.
But I would still be your friend.
Yeah.
Now, another thing I want to ask you along those lines, because, right now, the whole weekend, you saw the Kardashian
listen
to Travis Barker or whatever, and it's everywhere. Right?
Of course, the Kardashians
about it, and they're looking at it. But in terms of another wedding type question, I want to ask you is, when the bride is getting married, a lot of brides, my sister went out with, friends who were getting married and all that stuff. And sometimes the brides, they're having like this bridal party, not the wedding. Okay.
Right, the bridal
party. And they go to Timbuktu somewhere, or they want to go to Dubai for their bridal party and wherever exotic places they want to go. Now, this is a bridal party. I want to make that clear. This is a bridal party. This is not the wedding.
Right.
Okay. So the question is, should the bridesmaids have to chip in and pay, expenses of the bride?
Girl, I can barely make it in the car if the expenses much that's going to Dubai. They better pay for my ticket. I can barely buy the shoes and the dress and the this, and they're going to tell me I'm going to Dubai and I need to chip in. Chip in for what?
Yeah. How do you feel?
I'm sorry, I can't.
Yeah, I do agree. But it's a contention. It's a point of contention.
Well, what they need to do in the beginning, when they ask you to be in the bridal party, they need to say, here are the what's going to happen if you can afford it. If you can't afford it, peace.
Yeah, I saw some people today. Actually, it was an issue for some of them, and they were.
Well, they said that
you should pay. Yeah, you should pay, and also like sometimes the bride is flying first class. Well, if the party is flying coach.
First of all,
you paid for this.
Girl, I'm broke and bougie. There is no way. No, let me stop.
And people mean that mind because this weekend their wedding was so extravagant.
Oh, it's the Kardashians. They stick their tongue out. They get airtime. I'm telling you, because Kim
Andrea Bocelli, who is the opera singer or whatever, he's blind.
Andrea Bocelli.
Yes. Andrea is not Andrea. Your name is Andrea. His Andrea Bocelli.
Andrea, same thing. Andrea, same thing. Listen, I just had a conversation about that.
You gotta put the emphasis on the right syllables.
Andrea, Andrea. Andrea is A-U-N.
Nowhere.
I'm Andrea. My name is Andrea. I know. I just had a conversation.
Your name is Andrea, but the name is Andrea.
Okay. Whatever you say to the Italian.
Oh, I can't take you nowhere. Oh my.
Can't take me nowhere.
I can't take you nowhere.
Andrea, same thing. Andrea to me is Aundre. When I was in Jamaica, everybody called me Andrea. Come to America, how do you pronounce your name? Andrea or Andrea? Listen here. A-N-D and Andrea. Hey, I'm just saying.
Yeah. So he actually he performed at their wedding. Can you imagine the expense? And I won't even talk about everything else that happened.
That's nothing to them. That's nothing. They have money coming out there behind, and it's nothing.
Yeah,
they
you're
just
right. You're
listen.
Right.
They work for their money. So, well, in the
girl, I was just thinking about that and the whole theme of weddings and expenses and who pays for what. So how about? I'm sorry, Reese. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
How about if not just the bridal party now to go to the wedding, they want a destination wedding, right?
Well, I've done that. Okay.
Did you pay your own expenses?
I did pay. You know why I paid? You know why I paid? One, the wedding was on my birthday weekend. Two, it was in Jamaica. So I paid for it. And three,
so that was your vacation. What if it wasn't your birthday? Would you be willing to pay?
Yeah, because it was my sister. So I had no choice.
What if it wasn't your, see, you're throwing all these things.
Maybe I would pay for the destination wedding. I would. Because I'm benefiting from it too. I'm enjoying myself there too.
What if it's someplace you don't really want to go? It's their thing and they enjoy that place.
Well,
it holds memories for them. Let's say they want to go to someplace, far away or some remote place. You've never been there. You have no interest in that.
Well, I signed up to be a part of the bridal party. So if that was a part of it, I'll go. But I'm not going for no bridal thing in Dubai and I'll have to pay for it. That's extra right there. I would sign up to be going to the destination. But I think it's fine to pay for that. Unless the girl is filthy rich and then she pay for all of us.
Okay. But you draw the line at going to Dubai.
For a party?
Yes. Oh, what if it's a destination wedding in Dubai? And it's going to cost you, a pretty penny. What do you do?
What happened was.
What happened was, yeah. Let me think about that one.
It just depends on where they're going to have it. If they say they're going to have it in some place that I don't want to go, I'm going to be like, listen, sorry, but I want to go somewhere where I'm going to enjoy myself at the same time.
But it's not about you enjoying yourself, right? It's about you sharing their memories and being supportive of them, right?
You're not going to be with them 24/7. Are you going to be with them 24/7?
No, of course not.
Right. So you want to be, when they're doing their thing, I want to be able to be like, okay, that's just me. I don't know. I don't know what anybody else think. What y'all think?
So tell us, everybody. Tell us what y'all think. Okay. Would you, if it's a bridal party, would you be willing? And, people, you can tell us what you think. Hop on our live on our Facebook page and tell us what you think. And let us know if you'd be willing to pay for the bridal party, right? And pay for the bride to go wherever the bride wants to go. And B, if it's the actual wedding, would you be willing to pay to go there, even if it's in some remote, exotic place somewhere that's really expensive and,
So if
I mentioned Dubai before, but
you went to Dubai?
No, I said I mentioned Dubai before because I know it's
all right. So if I'm getting married, right, and I'm telling you I'm going to some place far, far, far away. Knowing you, first of all, you're McCassa cheap, but she's frugal.
Wait a minute. Are you throwing me under the bus again? Every time you throw me under the bus. You got to tell people all my business like this. Listen, oh my goodness.
You notice I said frugal, not cheap.
You got to tell people that I'm cheap. Oh my goodness, girl, you just told me.
How far is it? Dissect every mile to the and see if it worked every mile. And is the ticket enough? By the time you finish dissect, I'm married and gone already.
You're married and done long time. Oh my goodness. Well, girl. Well, I've got to make sure it's I'm getting the value for my dollar. What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that, Mom.
That's right.
Not a thing is wrong with
You
that.
gotta make sure you get every dollar, the value out, squeeze that dollar, girl. Get everything out of it that you should be getting.
Well,
Especially, I don't know about you guys, y'all might be having a ton of money like this, but if I don't have all of that money, I have to watch where everything is going. And like you said, listen, I'm sorry, even if it's for the wedding, if it's someplace really, really expensive, I love you, but I'm gonna have to bow out.
well, me when Shelly come
I
on,
love
Shelly
you.
coming
I'm
on,
gonna have to
Shelly
bow
coming
out
on.
because you know what? Picture me, Reese. You know me, right? Picture me dropping a cool several $1,000s to go to this place, and 3 months later, y'all break up or whatever, and I'm out, and
Why you think
I'm still paying a
no,
credit
paying
card
for the
bill
trip? True,
for this
true.
trip.
I
Oh
never
no,
thought about
honey,
that. I didn't think about that. But it's a gamble. You
I
never
would be
know.
hot.
But you don't know. You don't know if the marriage gonna work out or not.
You never know.
You don't know.
You never know. But even if it works out, I'm sorry. It's like years later, I'm still paying this bill.
Well,
and then y'all have the nerve to break up and talk about who you gonna be friends with.
first you gonna be,
Which one of us you gonna still be friends with? I'm not gonna be friends with none of y'all.
Divorce yet because I'm still paying for my trip. So y'all better hold that divorce until I'm finished paying for this trip.
You better hold that.
Hold
So
on,
I am
don't
done
don't
fully.
get
This trip
divorced
is
yet.
paid for. You
Don't
talk
get
about
divorced yet. I have 2
oh,
more payments or 3 more payments to make on this. So don't get divorced.
and then you can get divorced. You
Oh,
kidding me?
then you can't get to divorce. Yes.
And I'm still paying for this trip that y'all took to Abu Dhabi or wherever you went.
Timbuktu. You're paying for this trip I pay at Wayoy. Okay, better stay married. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Alrighty. So we're gonna have to drag our guest into this little conversation.
Oh yes. Hello, beautiful.
Hello.
Where's your drum roll, Reese? Come on now. Where's our
This is my drum roll.
you got so excited you forgot our drops and stuff, right?
Listen, we
You're
got so
excited.
we got so heated, got so into this. So hello, hold on.
Hello.
All right, let's introduce. You hear it play? I don't hear it play at all. Yeah. So
Okay.
okay. So
What do you want us to do, Miss Reese?
I don't know what happened. I was playing it. I don't know. You didn't hear it? No,
Nope.
I didn't hear it. Oh.
Nope.
Well, introducing our celebrity, Miss Shellz Sparkle.
Hey.
Listen, let me tell you before we start, under some Heineken.
You could tell
whatever, you're a fault, so whatever happens.
I don't have anything today.
I'm drinking for you and me, okay?
I have water.
Me too, Shelly. Me too. So everybody, in case you didn't hear, I want to give her a nice, big, proper welcome. Okay,
yes,
Miss
please.
Thing over here, she underneath her Heineken, that she's the influence of Heineken. And Heineken, if you're hearing this, please sponsor us. Yay!
I know.
It's my drink.
Yes. So welcome, 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 everybody. If you're just joining us, this is the show called Let's Connect. And you know, we're here every Monday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So y'all have to come back. We chat about all kinds of interesting, wonderful, fun, and educational stuff on this show every week. Reese and Carol, we're here on myturnradio.com, or just hop on our Facebook page on our live and join us. You know how much I love to see you guys, and I love to hear your comments. Now, I want to welcome the amazing, the ever beautiful Miss Shellion-Freeman. However, her name on her Facebook is Shellz Sparkle, right?
Yeah, Shellz.
Shellz.
Mhm.
We're so used to calling you Shelly.
Shelly.
Okay.
Shellz Sparkle, okay? If you want to look her up on Facebook. And she's here with us today. Shelly was here. We're gonna call you. You mind if we call you Shelly?
No, I don't mind.
Okay. So Shelly, we're gonna call you Shelly today, but you were here with us back in September. Let me get it right. September 13, 2021 was your first time on our show. And we want to welcome you back today because we want to chat with you and we want to hear everything you've been doing. So welcome, my dear.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yes. Yes, I'm so excited. Every time you come on the show, I'm happy to have you, my dear.
And I'm happy to be here.
You were.
Are you guys hearing me? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Nice and loud. So
all right.
Welcome, 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 welcome. We're so happy you're here. So we were chatting before because right now, you know, with the whole Kardashian wedding going on and other people getting married and stuff. So, and Reese, you know how much she loves her reality shows.
Yes.
Yes. Listen, Shelly soon be in that light, so we need to get her.
Yes, make sure y'all tune into my reality show when we start.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about all of that, girl. Yeah. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna go into that a little bit more so everybody knows what that is because we want people watching. But before we go there, Reese wanted your opinion. So Reese, what do you want to ask? Put on your glass long enough to ask a question.
Okay, so we were asking about, if you were in the bridal party, right? And the bridal party is gonna be in Dubai, right? Would you pay for the trip to go to Dubai?
And pay for the bride's trip?
I would chip in, but I can, yes.
Oh, you would?
Yes, I would, because that's a once in a lifetime, you know, opportunity, especially if we have a close relationship. If that's like my girl, of course. Not just no random person, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, that stands to reason because you would be in the bridal party, so it couldn't be a random person because you have to be pretty.
No, nowadays I see a lot of randoms in people's wedding parties.
For BFFs in like 2 weeks, and I feel it too.
Really?
Too.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm not interested in that. So you would chip in if they're flying first class while everybody else is in coach. You help to chip in on that and chip in to go to Dubai or Abu Dhabi, wherever they're going, right?
Yeah.
No, when you said chipping, you mean chipping for the bride?
Yes.
For the bride.
For the bride.
Yeah, you're doing this for the bride.
See, she don't understand nothing because that Heineken John is like.
I still want to chip in.
You said you wouldn't chip in?
For the bride? So the bride knows this. Sorry, this is not the Heineken for the bride. If the bride knows she can't afford to go to Dubai.
It's not about affording. You're a part of the bridal party. This is like your wedding gift to the bride as well.
Oh.
So that's all the wedding gift you're giving? You're not giving anything else? You could get something at the wedding, like $50 in a card.
Girl, this is coming from people who got all this money, this disposable cash and disposable.
Wait, Shelly, Kara, not even gonna get the 50.
I would do that.
Everybody does things differently. Me, I'm definitely gonna chip in. If I'm a part of the bridal party, I'm gonna chip in.
Yes, I hear you, girl.
Nothing wrong with that.
So that's Shelly. Shelly's gonna chip in.
Yes.
I'm like, I ain't chipping in.
She gotta calculate everything. The mileage.
I'm breaking up my calculation.
It's gonna be a whole bunch of other bridesmaids as well. So everybody chipping in. All the responsibility is not gonna fall on you. So you chip in what you have.
Why should I feel shame right about no?
Why? Listen, everybody's different. That's her opinion. That's how she feels. I'm not ashamed. Listen, I ain't chipping in. I ain't got it. I don't have it. I will buy you a gift. I love you. I will buy you.
So Shelly, you know who to invite and who to put in there.
She's not gonna invite me to.
That's why you gotta choose your brother.
But I love you though.
Yeah. Shelly said, I was thinking about reaching.
But that's why don't accept the invitation to be a part of the bridal party then. Because there's obligations being a part of the bridal party. You can respectively say, I decline. I
Yes.
love you. Thank you for wanting me, to be a part of your special day, but finances won't allow me to because you're obligated to do certain things.
True.
Yes.
That right. So they need to
So
put that
that's where
up front.
honesty comes in.
Yes, put it
Yes.
up front. I'll be like,
Mhm.
sis,
And I'm gonna be honest and
I'll
upfront
be
and tell
there
you
in,
I ain't got the money.
I'm there in
Mhm.
spirit. I'm there in
Especially
spirit.
the title of being a matron of honor. Oh my
Oh yeah,
God.
that
Oh, forget it.
You,
Forget
you
it.
know,
So,
you can't do it, just say, listen, I will be just have me sitting in the front row. I don't want no responsibilities because that is a
Yes.
title right there.
yes,
Shameful.
yes.
True.
Oh my goodness. Oh, our Reese, our friends are blowing up on our live. We love you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome for hanging out with us. And everybody's commenting. You know I live for the comments.
Lord, you guys just made Carol Day, okay?
Oh, they make
Live
my
for them.
day.
If y'all don't comment, she will die. So thank you.
That's right. We've got Bless Carolyn. Hey, Carolyn. We've got Karen Cromas. Hello. We've got Sev Velasquez. Hello. He keeps giving. What's up?
That's Shelly Bestie. Hey, Bestie.
And we've got, guess who we got? We got Kelly Freeman Jr. I wonder who is that, by the way?
Oh, I know.
That's right. That's the other half. You know it.
Big
Right
up,
now.
big up. Shelly's other half.
We got Monique Freeman Johnson. Hello, hello, hello. Oh my goodness, we love you guys. Junior Rich. We love you guys. Hey, y'all.
All my family is tuned in. Everybody's tuned in.
That's
Yes.
what's up.
That's what's up,
what-
because you know
yes.
what? Support is everything.
Of
And
course.
when we're starting out, we need that. We need our families' support and
Yes.
the protection that they will give, rather than other people coming and buzzing around and, all the negative vibes and stuff that we don't need. So,
And we know that Shellion is trying not to be negative and cuss nobody out. So
Listen, Drea, you already know.
yes.
You
I'm
already
so
know.
proud of you. I'm so proud of you, girl. I'm
Thank
so
you.
proud of you.
It's called growth.
Yeah.
yes.
Yes. Definitely.
Yes, girl. Yeah, and your career is all about you facing the public. So yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Girl. It's all about your public image and your PR and all of that good stuff. We know what it is, but when the doors close, girl, that's where you
It's
can
a
let
whole
it
different
rip.
ball game.
Yes. Yes.
And you're entitled to that.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you so much for being honest and candid with us in our What's Affecting Us chat that
No
we
problem.
did today.
Yes,
And-
honey. Yes, hunty. Yes, I'm ready
You ready? What are you ready for?
to hear all the tea. I want to know what's going on in Shelly, what she going on with, so I'm ready for that. You know me, I love all this.
Yes.
So
This is my
And
thing.
you guys have been one of my number one supporters since day one, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
No problem.
absolutely. That's what we're here for, Shelly. We have a platform and we're going to use it, and we're going to use it for good. Okay.
Yes.
We
Yes.
enjoy doing that. No negativity here. It's just all about love and support. And if you're doing something good, oh yeah, we want to be all up in it.
We want to be up in the mix.
Yeah. We're going to support you. We're going to tell everybody about what you're doing because it's important.
Yes, it
We want to
is.
be one of the first ones to hop on, so we're not waiting till everything blows up and then we're the last ones trying to jump on the bandwagon. No,
Yes.
we're going to start early.
Listen, because by then you guys are gonna have to go through like 5 people to get to me, honey.
Hey, you go, girl.
Hey, hold on.
She
Let me
said
tell
that.
And you heard it here on the Let's Connect show.
Yes.
Listen, me, I make sure I say I'm gonna make sure that I get my autograph. Okay. When you blow, you know what I was watching the other day that had me cracking up? When you were
What?
preparing for your Oscar. You say,
Oh, girl,
"I'm
I already
preparing
seen
for my
it.
Oscar. Yes.
I already see
Right.
it.
So let's
when
step
you-
back a minute, Reese, because
Yes.
you're so excited.
Oh,
Now
yes.
we have, we have listeners on this show from all over the world. This is an international show, and we get comments from people in Jamaica, in the Caribbean, in the UK. We get comments all the time from different people everywhere now, and we're constantly on our socials talking about it, and we told everybody to tune in. So we may have people who tuned into the show today who don't know who we're talking about.
Tell
So
them who Shellion is.
yes, so give Shellion a proper introduction. Tell them Shellion
you-
let me tell you guys. Shellion is on the show with us right now. Shellion, Shelly, Shellz, we call her all kinds of stuff. It's all love, it's all endearment. And she's with us today because she is an amazing actress, everybody. She was on the show with us before, where we chatted with her and we talk about her acting career. We're going to kind of go back down that road again with her a little bit for all of you folks who did not hear her story before, so that you all can tune in, you all can follow her and follow her journey. Okay, you want to support her. So Shellion is an amazing actress, and she's now doing so many amazing things. So we're going to chat with her. Shelly, let's start talking. We're going to go back, way back a little bit for all the new people, and then we're going to tell everybody the big things that you're doing today and the reason why you're here with us today. But before we get to that surprise, right, let's talk about you as a little actress. How on earth did you get into acting, and why did you get into acting?
Well, that was all my father. You know, he saw, I've always been extra. I've always been outgoing. I've always been, articulate. I've just, been this person. So when you have this in a small individual, it's hard to contain that person. So put them in something that, they can use it for their own good.
Yes.
So I was coming home from school one day, and he heard the commercial on the radio that they were casting, child actresses and stuff like that. And he drove me to the Wyndham Hotel. We were living in Los Angeles, California at the time. And we went there, he signed me up, and I was just thrust on stage. It was like thousands of people in the audience. And I had to go out there, tell who I was and everything, and what did I like to do. And I introduced myself. I said, I'm Shellion Rickman, and I think I was like 7. I'm 7 years old. I love to read and I love to dance. And I remember this, it stuck with me. They were like, what's your favorite dance? And I said, I like to hula hoop. And I did it just like that on the stage. And next thing you know, we went home and the phone lines just started blowing up. Literally, it started blowing up. And I got accepted into this really prestigious acting school called Beverly Hills Acting Studios in California. And we thought, okay, with the acceptance, you just go, right? No, you had to pay. You had to pay, and you're working with big name directors and stuff. Some of the people that actually coached me, I see them on TV till this day. I see their credits, I see everything. And I'm like,
Wow.
I worked with that person as a kid. But, a lot of people don't know my life. So obviously they'll probably be like, whatever, she's just talking. He was my teacher. That was my agent as a kid. Like, I see these people. And some of them actually started reaching out to me. It was so crazy. My agent, when I was 8 years old, he reached out to me 2 weeks ago, and he said he was just on social media and he saw the Shellz Sparkle. So he looked up and he's like, he seen the Rickman attached to it, and he said that name rang a bell. And he reached out to me and he sent me my old headshot from when I was like 8 years old. And he said, is this you? And I said, yes. And he said, I've always wondered about you and what happened with your life and your story. And he said, keep on. And he says, I'm rooting for you. What do you need? And I said, well, thank you for the offer, but I don't need nothing right now. Right now, I might need him again, but right now I'm good. But, for him to reach out to me and him to remember me, he was like, you left an impact. He was like, you were one of these children that as you walked in, your personality just, grabbed the room. Yeah. But my father was the one that saw this in me. Yep.
Okay. Big up to Pops.
Yeah, he's on here.
Big up,
it's so important, that parents, and we talk about parents and different topics with parents all the time on this show, but it's so important that parents try to tap into their children. So pay attention to what they're good at or what their interests are, and just support your kids, you know, because a lot of times when, you know, we have these kids, they don't really know because they're young. Some kids know from when they're really little, and they don't really know what they want to do or what the direction they want to go in. But it's not harmful if we help them
Right.
and nudge them along the way, and we support them until they find what they want to do, because we have to do that.
I've
So
seen
that's
where
what your dad did.
I've seen or heard where some of these celebrities said that their parents sold everything and packed up the car and went to LA or went to New York to help the kid, you know, find it, you know.
Luckily, we were
yeah.
already, luckily for us, we were already living in California, so we didn't have to pack up the car and move anywhere.
You were
It was a
destined,
lot
girl.
of sacrifice that was made in order to send me to that school. And, you know, the leaving school early and stuff like that, and being at the studio late nights. Sometimes I wouldn't come home until like midnight as a kid, and then have to wake up at 6 a.m. and still go to school and maintain an AB average, because you have to have a work permit from the state that grants you the ability to work as a minor child.
Wow. That's amazing. That's important. And I'm so glad that you say that, because I want people to know that you didn't just wake up last year sometime and say, oh, I want to be an actress, you know,
No.
or I want to do this. This is coming from since you were a child years ago.
Yes.
With a lot of blood, sweat, and tears.
And disappointments and everything.
Really?
So when people see me just emerge, they're wondering, okay, where did she get this from? Because a lot of people don't know certain sides to me, because I'm very versatile. So a lot of people just know Shelly, but they don't know there's layers to me like an onion.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we all have that, you know, and people need to just remember that. And when you see someone, don't just assume, because when people get successful, I see we tend to think a lot of times people envy you or they get jealous of you. Oh, she got this.
Yeah.
But they're not
Go through.
Yeah, they don't know what you went through.
They see the glory, but they will not know the story.
Yeah,
Right.
I like that. I like that. So tell our audience a little bit, or maybe one story of something that you went through, that some sort of hardship. I know I think the last time we chatted, we talked about Kevin Hart's story, and Kevin Hart was at it. You know, right now, Kevin Hart is on top, and is a smart businessman, and he's doing extremely well. But for many, many years, Kevin Hart was struggling. Okay. And it didn't just happen. It took him years. Okay, for him to get there. We know about Tyler Perry. You know, he was sleeping in his car for a long time. We'll talk about Tyler Perry in a little bit too. You know, we know that before, a lot of these amazing individuals.
Tiffany Haddish went through that too.
Tiffany Haddish.
Yep. She's been at it for a long time, and she just blew up.
Yeah. So, and now you see them on television, and everybody, you know, you might just forget and think that, oh, look at them, you know, they got all this. Why I can't have that? Did you ever sleep in your car? So do you have a story to share with our audience of a little hardship that you experienced?
Girl, I got a whole book. You know, I faced homelessness. Me and my daughter, we were homeless, living in a homeless shelter. I slept on the beach with my child. You name it. I've been through it.
Yeah.
And, you know, even recently I went through stuff, you know, not being homeless, but with life and life's tribulations, you understand? So nothing ever comes easy, you know. I can't go into every single detail right now, you know, what me and you spoke about, Carol, but on the next episode, when I come back, we can speak about those stuff.
Definitely. Yeah, you know, and folks, the last time when Shelly was here and we chatted, we talked about a little bit more. So if y'all want to hear, because we're not going to go down the road of every single detail again. So she covered some of that with us last time, where she talked about her experience in the homeless shelter. And I thought it was so sad, and I listened to it again, and it was a really good interview. And for those of you, if you have a pen and paper, everybody go grab that. It was September 9/13/2021 episode. It's out on our YouTube page.
I actually put the the show up on over the weekend.
Oh, really?
Huh?
Oh,
You
yes.
did?
We've been
Okay.
promoting you, girl. We've been promoting you for days.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Mark where they should start listening to the interview.
Oh, yes. Reese been on it, honey.
Shelly, you know I got your back, girl. Yeah. Yes.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
yes. So we've been posting this, everybody, and we're saying it again because for those of you who may not have seen it and you're listening to us on the radio right now, like a lot of my family and stuff, they catch the show on the radio. So I'm telling you guys, the episode is September 13, 2021 episode. Go check out her story because it's really interesting. And Shelly, you were so open and candid with us. I remember you talked about your homeless episode where you know there's a curfew and all this stuff, and
Yes.
the curfew, you ended up having to sleep in the lobby because they just didn't care. I went
that
back
was so
and I listened
embarrassing.
to it.
That was so embarrassing. You know, everybody coming in and they're seeing you and your child on the floor sleeping, and they're stepping over you sometimes, you know, to get to their room and board.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And
You know, I went down there the other day.
you what?
I went down to the homeless shelter the other day.
Wow.
I still have a very good relationship with some of the staff members, you know, that actually had my back while I was there. And we talk and stuff.
And they're still there.
Still there.
That's
Wow.
awesome. Wow.
Mhm.
I'm glad that you went back and you didn't just, you know, turn your back, because
Yeah,
like I said, some people may be so embarrassed and they don't want
No.
anybody to know about it, and they just want to pretend like that chapter never happened in their life.
Not me. I'm not embarrassed by anything. I
Good.
learned from it and I strive to be
Exactly.
better.
Exactly.
It's life. We all have our trials and our tribulations. You would
Sure
never
do.
know how strong you are if you've never been through anything.
Mhm.
And you know,
Go
when
ahead.
the good comes, how are you going to accept it and celebrate if you've never had bad times?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So true.
I'm glad that you're mentioning that. And I remember also that, you know, when that happened, it was embarrassing, but you know what? It gives you also that grit, that tenacity to push through. You develop strength. And I mean,
Mhm.
I'm not saying that everybody should go through that just to develop strength, but you know, it does help you because it's sink or swim, right, Shelly? It's sink
Yes.
or swim. And you're not going to allow yourself to sink. So you're going to
Especially
swim.
if you have somebody else depending on you.
Yes. And you had a
Mhm.
little one, right?
Yes, I did.
How old were you at that time?
What did you say?
How old were you at that time? You were young, right?
Yes, I was. I was like 17, 18, 19, 20.
Yeah.
Got my stuff together, and you know, life happened, and I still had to end up back into that situation again. So, you know, in life, it's 7-time rise, 7-time fall. Popular Jamaican saying, you might dip on top today, and tomorrow you can lose it all. And in my life, I've experienced that.
Yeah.
So right now, I'm just trying to balance the scales.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to keep it like this. I don't want to go back. So I'm doing everything to, you know, balance the
You
scales.
can, right.
Mhm.
Amazing.
You live, you learn, and you grow.
Yes. Okay. And so good that you say that. And I like to repeat certain things on this show. And if y'all listen to us every week, you hear me say this all the time. And I repeat what our guests say. You live. What did you say again, Shelly? I want to say
You learn,
you learn.
you live, you learn, and you grow.
You live, you learn, and you grow. Actually, I'm going to write that down. Not that it's so hard, but my memory is horrible. I don't know.
Yeah.
You live, you learn, and you grow. Okay.
You
It's a
grow.
simple thing, but write it down if you have to, like me, and look at it because it's so important. A lot of times when we're going through stuff in life, we forget, right? And we forget that there are hardships. And when we get knocked down, so many of us think that we can't get back up.
Mm-hmm. No,
Mhm.
true. We think that we're the only ones going through it. And
Yeah.
when you somebody else goes, wow, what I'm going through is not that bad, you know.
Mhm.
So
It
Yeah.
makes you grateful.
So you got back up, girl, even though you've been.
Yes, I'm in my chapter called growth right now.
okay.
You see, in my life is like a storybook because I love to read. So it's a beginning, middle, twist, end, and then the continuation. So that's how I base my life. So this chapter is called growth. I lived, I learned, grow.
Yes, absolutely. So I want to fast forward from some of those hardships because, like you said, there are so many, and we can't go into all of them. And you talked a lot more back in that older episode, which was really good, by the way. I went back and I listened to it, and it was it was a really nice chat that we had with you. So our listeners, go back, check out that episode, and you'll learn a lot more about Shelly. So we're fast forwarding now, okay, a little bit. And you decided, of course, you're going to continue, you're going to get up, you're going to continue to pursue your acting dream. How did you even land your first role?
Well, see, what happened was, my friend, she passed away last year. And before she passed away, I went and I seen her in hospice. And she's talking to me and she said, Shelly, live your life to the fullest and live your life with no regrets. She said, I'm here on my deathbed and I lived a fulfilled life. And, I only had one regret, which, I'm not going to put her little regret out, but she was like, I don't want you to have no regrets. Right. And she said, you've been talking about this acting thing for years. She said, like, the personalities that you have inside, the voices, I could look at somebody and study them and copy them down to a T. She said, the mind that you have is so sharp. She said, go ahead and let the world see. She said, it's your time. She said, it's your time. And this is my final blessing to you. And she said, promise me that you're going to try, even if it doesn't work, as long as you try. And I did. Awesome. I did.
She'd be proud of you today.
Oh my God, she would. Sometimes I just hear her voice and, Shell, you did it. Oh my God. Like, I just really wish she was here.
As long as you try.
Yes. As long as you try. Just try. Even if every door is closed in your face, you went and you tried. So therefore, you have no regrets. You're not wondering like, damn, I could have been this or I could have been that. You tried.
But you wouldn't know, right? If you wouldn't know if you didn't go out there and try.
Yes.
But a lot of us we are scared of failure and rejection. So that's one main reason why people don't go out there and live the dream that they want. They're scared. I was one of those people.
Don't be afraid.
Huh?
Me too.
Yeah, we're scared because we just don't want rejection. We don't want to hear no. But I've come to realize that everything is not going to come easy. You're going to have to hear no's to improve or to move for it to motivate you. Even
what story motivates me? Walt Disney. He got turned down, I think, like 100 times for like his loan or whatever. Nobody believed in his dream of Disney World. They were like, are you serious? 100 times. And he just kept on. So many doors were slammed in his face. This man could not get a loan to save his life. And look at Disney World now.
What?
Disneyland. Look at this. Look, they have stores in the malls and this and that. Look at all those no's that turned. All he took was one yes. All you need is one yes.
Yeah. And the right yes.
The right yes.
The right yes.
Yeah.
The right yes.
Yeah.
All it takes is one.
You need to be in that place at the right time to get that blessing, to get. So I feel you on that. Yep.
But in order to do that, you've got to put yourself out there, and that's where you crushing that fear comes in. Get over that fear, fight that fear. I did a post on something recently too, because it's one of my favorite sayings, and I'm trying to adopt that as much as possible also, is do it scared. Okay, do it scared. But do it. It doesn't mean that you're not going to have fear. We all have fears, right? And it's okay to have that fear because we're human, but still do it even when you're scared. So the saying goes, quote unquote, do it scared. As long as you are doing it and you put yourself out there, which is exactly what you did. So I'm so glad that you did this, right?
Listen, before doing this, I had every reason not to do it. The way my life was set up, I had every reason to just sit down and not even go try and knocking on somebody's door.
Yeah.
Because the circumstances and the hands that I've been dealt with in life, I had every reason to just be like, oh, okay, I'm not even going to try. What's going to happen? No.
Well, I'm glad you tried, because if you didn't try, we wouldn't have met you
That's
and I
Yes,
have seen all the good
yes.
things. I don't know.
so.
You should have been trying, because you should have been a child actor girl all the way up. I'm
Oh,
Well,
telling
listen,
you, with your personality,
circumstances happen. I
yeah,
had a
but with your
teacher that
person,
hated my guts.
oh yeah, I
I
remember
had a
you told
teacher,
us that.
yes.
Yes,
And
yes.
like I told you, you have to have an AB grade point average, and you have to get a work permit by the state. And this teacher, she just hated that I was leaving school and going on auditions, because I've always been extra, packing up my book bag. Ooh, I'm going to San Diego. I have an audition. Like I'm a sunglass person. My dad always bought me shades. I'm putting on my shades, and we're going for the weekend. I have an audition, and she just hated it. I don't know what it is.
You know
But
what would be, you know what would be funny? When you get big now, you try to scout her out and say, "How you like me now?"
ooh, y'all.
no, kill them with kindness. You go back and give her a big hug and say hi.
I'm
But
gonna tell her. I'm gonna say, you might have stopped my plan right then and there, but God, baby,
Had a
has
bigger
a different
plan for
say
you,
so.
my dear.
Mhm.
And it's
yeah,
really sad, and I don't want to veer off the topic too much, but that is an important topic because, like I said, we talk about kids' topics on this show a lot as well. And parents who have children, that's why you need to pay attention to your kids, because sometimes the teachers can crush a kid's dream. And one of them tried
Yes.
to crush yours, Shelly, and if you did not have that tenacity, to keep on pushing and not let that stop you. Sometimes, not all of them are the best. I'm not saying bad things about teachers, because we absolutely
Yeah.
need them and there are some great ones, but they have to
Mhm.
pay attention, to what they're doing with the children and the messages that they're sending. But we know we have some
Most
that are not
certainly.
so good. Okay.
Mhm.
You as parents need to be the ones to support your kids. I know I'm
Mhm.
a mother hen, and something similar happened one time with my kid, and I had to go down there. I had to deal with the teacher like, hello, you will not be crushing my child. Please do not do
Yes.
that, because
Mhm.
sometimes you've got to support your children. So I'm glad.
Mhm.
I think you said your dad was like one of your big supporters, right? When you were younger.
Yes.
even
Yes.
now, is he Junior Rich?
Yes.
Big up Junior Rich. He was like, "One love, my daughter."
My
Oh,
daughter.
you
Oh,
get
I love it. He's
Yes.
yeah,
out here rooting for you to this day. That's
of
right.
course.
Yes.
That's what's up.
That's
Yeah.
his dream, for him to see his daughter on the big screen.
Listen,
That is his
you
He
make
will.
sure that when you win that Oscar or that award, big up Daddy. That's the first thing. And first of all, I know Daddy's going to be on
Listen,
the stage with you.
Daddy's
Daddy is
gonna be
going to be
walking
on.
with me down the red carpet too.
Oh, so now that you
Yes.
mentioned down the red carpet, girl, so tell us, why are you going to be walking down the red carpet? What is that all about?
Well, I'm currently filming a project with
Dun, 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 dun.
Uh,
Who that?
Tyler Perry. I don't know if you guys can see it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, I signed 3 contracts with him, baby. 3.
What?
3
Hold on.
recent.
Okay.
You got to drink to that, right?
That's for one project?
Mm-hmm.
oh my goodness gracious.
2 projects?
She gonna be totally done when she's
And
done with this.
3.
3.
Yes.
Yes, we're
Now,
so
listen.
excited and so happy for you, because I wanted everybody to hear that. And we're going to say it again for everybody in Radio Land that did not see. So, by the way, guys, if you're listening on the radio, you didn't see when Shelly held up her ID card. Basically, her laminate ID card to prove to everybody that she is legit.
She
And
not lying. She not
authentic.
lying. She got
Okay.
it.
She held up
Hold on.
her working ID card that says Tyler Perry
Talk to me, guys.
Studios
Yep. Yes.
on there. Okay.
Yeah.
And don't worry if y'all are on the radio and you didn't hear it, not to worry. This episode will be posted where, Reese?
On YouTube. On our
That's
Let's Connect YouTube page. So you'll definitely see the lovely Shelly.
Yes. So you'll go out there when we're done and you'll be able to see Shelly holding up her laminate ID card that says Tyler Perry Studios actress. Shelly,
Actress.
that's
Let
right.
me see.
There it is,
Shelly,
girl. There it is.
Shelly,
With her picture.
with her picture. So you know them haters out there be like, that girl ain't with no Tyler Perry. She show them, Shelly. Show
Yes.
them.
Okay.
She's so pretty.
So we're showing it to you right now.
I am so proud.
Yes.
Let me ask you this. I watched Tyler Perry and I know his shows. Are you the first Jamaican that's on a Tyler Perry? Because I don't remember.
The first. Real Racha Yadi.
Thank you very much.
Wow.
Thank you very much. We are just
Yes.
doing the damn thing. Sorry. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
yes.
you see,
Yes.
I love that Tyler Perry is that open also
Yes.
to giving
Yes.
opportunities. So here is this Jamaican yachty girl.
Yachty.
And he gave her the job, not just because he's sticking to any specific culture or preferences, etc. If he feels like you fit the role, you're gonna get that
Yes.
role.
Yes.
Yes.
Did you audition with?
Yes, I did.
Is there any role right now? Because you just mentioned that there are 3 roles that you've signed a contract with Tyler Perry to do, and I know that Tyler Perry is strict and there are rules and regulations. You cannot speak about everything.
No, I can't.
However, speak about whatever you can right now. Is there any of them that you can tell us about?
Well, I can say what I'm filming right now. I'm going to be playing a police officer. And that right there challenged me because look, baby, I don't know how to work a gun. I didn't know how to do this. I didn't know how to do that. So I can't wait for the world to see me in this form because I had to learn to do all of these stuff. Like right now, you give me a gun, I know how to break that thing down and put it back together like this. Like
Wow.
it's just really exciting. It challenged me mentally and physically as well because look, I ain't gonna lie, I do not work out. Like, so they have us like when we go there, it's boot camp. It's literally boot camp. We change into our PT uniforms and that's what we rehearse on set in until we go into hair and makeup. It's really hard. Like I sprained this finger. We thought it was broken. This middle finger, sorry for putting out the middle finger. The whole nail was knocked out. Like, cause I had to learn how to box and like do all that stuff. Like, look, I can't give too much away, but your girl, I'm mean with them hands now, baby. Like,
Nice.
But you know what is so funny, and we were talking about the Shelly. We see movies and we see them doing it, and I was like, why they get so much money paid for, you know, our entertainment, but not realizing that they go through a lot.
Yes.
They have
It's
to
a lot.
memorize the lines. They have to know when to be on point. They have to know when to the emotions.
Yes.
Listen, I don't even know what happened
you
yesterday,
don't-
much less to memorize.
you don't have to know. I have to know my coworkers' lines as well. I don't have to just memorize mine. I have to know theirs because they want the conversation to be flowing, just like how me and you are speaking and it's coming
Right.
naturally. That's how they want it. So I have to know their stuff. And it's really hard because sometimes in the middle of filming, which right now, they switched up 5 pages of the script. So that's 5 new pages that I have to go ahead and learn again. And I'm like, I already memorized this. Now I gotta go memorize this.
Yeah. I wanted to
Yeah.
ask you about that because we all see sometimes, you know, before a movie comes out, I know there was a recent movie, I forget the name of it. I haven't watched it yet, but I've been meaning to watch it, like with Halle Berry. It's also some sort of boxing movie. And they talked about the fact that she had to go through so much training prior to doing the movie. So I wanted to ask you about that as well. And there's another movie I was watching too, and this with this guy, and he played the role of like a male ballerina. And he is not a ballerina, but he was so good. But he talked about the rigid training he had to do for like 6 months straight, you know,
And-
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. Which is one of the reasons, that's what Reese was talking about. It's a lot of prep work. So what is your longest prep time that you had to prepare for any of your roles? Without telling us all the roles, if you can't talk about it, what's the longest prep time?
With Tyler Perry, he is really strict. So it's just like, you better start this ASAP and get it.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like, you gotta be on rehearsal. Even though I'm home, I have to do stuff while I'm at home. I have to do training while I'm home. So
Wow.
when I go back, I'm prepared, you know, like the hands-on stuff. It's really hard. You know, and then when I go there and I'm, you know, doing rehearsals, I'm at the studio sometimes 18 hours. I have to wake up sometimes at midnight to go to the studio. So I just don't sleep. I just sit
Right.
up and just wait to go. It's really hard.
So
Wow.
we just see the end product and like, oh, that movie was good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's so much.
We don't know
So
what
much-
everything is, what goes on behind the scenes. And a lot of times, you know, with different, depending on the role you have to lose weight, or if it's another role, you have to gain weight
Gain weight.
on
Mhm.
what the role is,
Yes.
which is
Yeah.
what makes
Well,
it so difficult.
mine's, I have to maintain my weight. They don't want me to go up or they don't want me to go down. So, you know, when we go down there, we have a dietitian that fixes our food and stuff like that. It's like, it's a lot.
That's too. Because I could not get.
Yeah, but
And it's
that's
like, you're
why,
looking over there, other people that's like filming other stuff, and you're like, you're eating that and we got to eat this? Like, yeah.
but it all
Mhm.
depends on the role that you're
Yes.
playing, because they can't afford for you to, you know, change the character that was
Mhm.
written for you. So
Yeah.
you have to stay within that lane. That's amazing.
And
And
you
that's
have
what
to
she was
look,
talking about. Go
you
ahead.
have to look the way that you started. Like, I can't go get no tattoos. I can't go get no piercings. Like, I can't get anything that's going to alter my look. I have to, how I started filming, that's how I have to look straight through.
Yeah. They're
No,
only,
no, you say that, but no, no. Another question, not another thing that I'd like you to tell the listeners. You got into acting and everything, but now that you're in it, you have to prepare yourself mentally for this. It's
Yes.
just not, oh, I'm getting it. There is.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
Yes. Okay, so I've been wanting this my whole life, of course. So I just wanted it. But I also was not prepared mentally to handle it, everything just coming so fast. You know, God was just pouring these blessings onto me, and it was becoming overwhelming. The phone calls, the contracts, looking at this, going over this. This person needs you here. You got to go here. Every month, I'm literally on a plane, and I hate flying. So that alone is horrible for me. I hate flying with a passion.
wow.
And then it's like, once you go, you're not in control of your own time. You're being pulled here. You're getting pulled here. You're doing interviews and stuff like that, which one thing I learned, when you guys see something on the TV that says live, it's not live. It's already pre-recorded. And I didn't know that.
Oh,
I'm like,
okay.
but it says live. Yeah, it's not live. It's already pre-recorded. It's just saying that it's live. So I did a whole bunch of interviews already. I did some interviews with ET Entertainment Tonight, which they're going to be releasing soon. It's going to say live, but it's not live. I recorded those in like November and December.
Wow.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, so then you better look the same.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because they're claiming it's
I
live.
better
so
look the same.
yeah, you better look the
Yeah.
same on what you're doing.
They weigh you when I go, like when I go back, I'm gonna have to get weighed again. Like they weigh you, like your weight has to stay the same.
That is why
Wow.
there's
It
so
has to
much.
stay the same.
Yeah, you hear a lot of actresses go through that weight thing. They are
Mhm.
anorexic because they're saying a size 14 is over, you know, whatever. And you know, there's a lot of
Mhm.
pressure that comes with
It is a lot
the
of pressure.
fame.
Mm.
That's why I chose not to be there. I want to be a regular person.
Yeah,
I could
it's a lot
not
of
deal with
pressure.
that. It's yeah. Now the
If you-
other
You're not a
other
people's
question.
person, or you have anxiety with dealing with certain things, do not get into this field because, honey, they're going to see you at your worst. Look, I don't have no eyebrows. They don't see me without the eyebrows. They see me with the cornrows. They don't see you in your undies and everything because they're doing measurements. I'm petite.
Oh,
You know, I have the weight, but I'm petite. Like a lot of my clothes have to be altered. So I'm always having to go to alterations. They're always having to find new shoes for me because I wear a size 5 and a size 3 in children. So every shoe that they had on set didn't
Size
fit me.
5?
there's
Yes.
size 5 shoes. Oh my
You
goodness.
can't even go over my
That
big
can
toe.
fit in my hand.
Yes.
Wow.
There's a size 5 and a size 3 in kids. So if you're shy or you have any self-esteem problems, baby, don't do it. Because they're like, okay, Stan, you just gotta stand like this. They do this, they snip this, they sew the stuff on you. Like, it's just a lot.
Wow. Oh
And
my
it's really hard because waking up in the morning, I'm really not a morning person like that. And it's like I'm thrust into this environment where I'm around 75 people. Hair, makeup, the producers, this person, and they're expecting you to be so chipper. And I'm like, I just woke up. Like,
Can I have my
let
coffee?
me understand that I'm here.
Let me be. Yes.
So it's
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
No.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Reese.
real quick, I know we're focusing on Shelly, we're focusing on that, but remember now, Shelly has another other half, right? We're all focused on Shelly, but your spouse, you're getting all this attention now, whatever. How is he handling now that you are blowing up, right? Because you have to remember that you're not in it alone. You have your daughter, right? And you have your hubby. So how are they dealing with your new success now, right?
And the fact that it's going to get, the spotlight will get even brighter.
Right.
I don't think reality set in for them as yet.
Exactly.
Because right now I'm still Shelly. I
right.
don't have no paparazzi following me around yet. So everything is still normal for them. You understand? Right. So nothing's really changed. They're just still the same.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'll ask you that question when the paparazzi start.
Yeah, they haven't really seen me in my element, like, you know, when I'm going to work, because when I go to work, baby, I get the VIP treatment. What? So they have not seen Shellz yet. They know mommy and they know Shelly, but they have not seen Shellz. Yeah. And you know what, my work badge, you know, the perks that I get with that work badge.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's true. They haven't seen that yet. And that's why I was waiting for you girls to finish talking, because that spotlight will get bright, you know.
Oh yes,
and it will. And but how are you preparing Shellz, and how are you preparing them? What do you guys have to do for that time to come? Because I would imagine that you don't want to wait till it hits them for them to have to figure it out.
Well, I'm going to keep my family private as much as I can.
Got you.
I'm the one in the limelight. Leave my family alone. You understand? I'm going to set that standard anywhere I go. You're not going to harass my family. Leave me alone. And they just have to be mentally stable to accept what is coming. I had a talk with my husband because doing my thing with the Shy, we took a lot of pictures to build chemistry with my on-screen boyfriend. And, you know, my agency told me when, you know, the tabloids possibly get pictures of these, they're probably going to spin stories and say, she's hooking up with this guy, or look at this and this and that. And then sometimes, you know, your own people will spin the stories because there's publicity around the show. So this is something that we have to get ready for. So the thing is, know your spouse. Trust your spouse and know what your spouse will. Me, I'm gonna always keep it business professional. So I'm not going to go into that field of, you know, sneaking off with no celebrity person because they know why you're anywhere.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, this when the Jamaican thing come out, they know why you're anywhere.
You know what I'm saying? But you hear that. I know, Mr. Freeman, you're listening. So you heard that. Okay.
You heard it here on Let's
You alone. And she's telling you that for sure. It's a matter of that trust, because it's going to come fast and furious.
Oh,
and, you know, because of course we're also in the entertainment sector. We've seen this. We know about this as well. And it will come out. You, like you mentioned, Shellz, you just mentioned that your on-screen boyfriend. Okay, that's really what it is. It's an on-screen relationship. You have personal, your husband and your child, you have your family, you know, which is separate from your on-screen, but everybody's gonna they're gonna snip pictures and they're gonna edit the pictures, they're gonna Photoshop stuff and say, Mr. Freeman, and that's the reason I asked you, how are you guys preparing? Because, you know, once it comes out,
it was hard for him at first because my role on The Shy, he was saying that he doesn't want the world to see me how he sees me. So that was a little conflict right there.
Yeah. That takes some getting used to. He doesn't, because he wants you, the real Shellz, to be, he wants the Shelly that he knows, which is his wife, that he knows all these years, to be at home with him. And then what you put out to the world, this is your image. That's the Shellz. That, you know, should be presented on screen, etc., to everyone else. So that's honestly, that's the reason I asked you, how are you guys dealing with this? Because it will come and it's gonna come hard. And I would imagine, you know, not to go into your business, because what you all do together as a family, that's that's really, you know, tight and
Right.
key. But I just wanted to mention it because it is something that you have to consider and you have to work
Yes.
hard on, because you're going to be stepping into that light real bright. And
Yes.
with me saying that, you just mentioned the shy. Tell us about the shy and what you're going to be doing with the shy, and
Can't wait.
what is the shy for people who don't know?
Okay. The Shy is a coming of age. Awesome show. I've always been a fan before I even got back into acting. That was my show from day one. So I knew every ins and outs. So for me to even be on a show that I love so much, it's just like a huge blessing. I booked 5 episodes that I did with them. I did my scenes already in November and December. I'm playing a nurse on there. That's the most that I could say.
Yeah.
And my boyfriend, Drea, knows who my boyfriend is.
I love him. I love him.
Yes, I can't give out too much
Right.
of the storyline because you guys need to watch it. And I also don't know.
Give away anything.
No, because I really don't know much. I just know what I shot. I don't know how they're going to edit it or how they're going to put it together. We just know our scenes that we did. We don't know how it's going to be edited or whatnot.
Yeah.
So when it airs on TV, I'll be watching it just like everybody else. I don't know. I'm gonna be surprised too.
I'm gonna have a watch party.
Which episodes I'm gonna be in.
We're gonna have a watch party.
Yes, we should.
Will your agent or so tell you before the show, like what episodes that you're gonna be? Will he know? You don't know yet, right?
It depends. It depends if the studio releases that information to him.
Right. Got you.
Mm-hmm.
So for everybody else who are listening right now, and some folks who may not be aware, The Shy, like Shelly just mentioned, is a show and it's very popular. And for those of you who don't know, you can find this show currently running on Showtime. So if you have Showtime channel, yes,
it's currently running now. It's not running yet.
No, it's not running right now. It premieres June 24th.
Okay. I meant it's not a brand new show that's just starting. It's not running this second, but it's not a new show for everybody who's listening. It's not a new show. If you have Showtime, you can go find the previous seasons of The Shy. So people know that we're talking about something that's legit. It's not some new show that's just starting out and maybe or it's a mom and pop. Which
5th season.
The 5th season of The Shy, everybody.
And that show is good. I love it because I watch it from what?
Yeah, so we definitely, Reese, we should have a watch party for this.
No, we are going to have a watch party.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are.
Season 5 of The Shy. So everybody, if you all are listening, you make sure that you're checking out The Shy, and it comes on Showtime. So go get your subscription in. If you're not subscribed to Showtime right
now, it's worth it.
Have that as one of your cable channels.
Yeah. That show is worth it.
I'm just so excited.
Yeah, we're so excited for you. And Shelly, do you know when season 5 of The Shy is premiering?
But of course,
yes, June 24th.
Yes, I wanted Shelly to say it, Reese.
Come on, June 24th.
That's why she's here. She's promoting her movie, her show coming up. That's right.
Yes.
So June 2.
Yes, June 24th.
Let me just take a sip of my Heineken.
Sorry, you make me laugh all the time. You're so silly. Okay, so the Shy, everybody, is premiering June 24th on Showtime. Okay, put it on your calendars, write it in your notebooks, wherever you have to, so you remember and you support. Okay, support, and you're gonna remember. Take a good look at her face, and then when the show comes on, you'll be like, "Oh, that's her."
Listen,
I don't look like this. I don't look like this on the show.
Yeah, well, okay. So, but we can still recognize you, right? Oh, okay. Well, hopefully.
No, I look like a completely different person.
Okay, well, don't give it away. Don't give it away. Don't give it away yet. So you're going to be on The Shy. We know that. You look like a different person, but we'll find you.
Don't worry, I'm not going to say, Shelly, are you that?
I don't know. She's going to be taking pictures and sending it to me. I already know.
But we know you're a nurse, so we'll be looking
Yeah.
for every nurse on that show.
Look for nursing. Look for nursing.
We're gonna be
Yes.
looking at every nurse on that show to be like, is that Shelly?
I'm like,
Shelly?
Carol, is she that?
That's her. Oh my goodness.
Listen, you'll be looking me out, the shortest person on set.
Yes, the tiniest person there,
Tiniest person
the
on set.
tiniest nurse working on that show. We're gonna know. Oh yeah, that's her. She may look different, but she can't change her height.
That's the giveaway.
That's
That's
not
the
gonna
giveaway.
change. That's never gonna change. Now, so I know that recently you had your red carpet event. Yes, peoples. She had
Me say, I cannot manage Shelly. Okay.
looking fabulous.
Shelly.
Reese, we got any pictures of her fabulousness?
Why we find her fabulousness?
Yes, please. We want to show the peoples her fabulousness. That's right. You know.
Hold on, let me find her fabulousness.
Yes.
All right, hold on.
You know, as she did her red carpet strut. Well, we don't have the picture of on the red carpet itself, actually, but which we will.
There she goes.
But we want to show you her preparation process. That ain't her, honey. That's
is.
you. You showing a picture. You pretend like you're. She want to swap life with you, Shelly. She wants to swap places with you. Now listen, she Reese, I know Shelly said she looked different, but she didn't say she tried to look like you.
Listen,
Okay.
blame it on the alcohol.
Exactly.
You know what? You remember I'm working from a different thing, you know, so maybe it's not working. Oh, yeah, you know what it is? Because I'm using my iPad, that's why. So you may see that. So let's try this again. Let's try it again. Lord of
Coming up
mercy.
here, putting up Shelly, putting up your picture, pretending.
Look at,
For
is it
folks on the
showing?
radio? This is what Reese tried to do. Reese tried to put her picture on the screen, talking about here is Miss Shelly. No, honey.
Reese is plugging herself.
I don't think it's working. I don't think it's working.
Again.
There
Is
it
it?
is.
It's
But
not
you have
working.
to make it larger. Can you make
Oh,
it
you see it?
larger? Yes,
Saw
we
it?
saw it, but you have to
All
make
right,
it
hold
bigger.
on. Yes, I want the people them see me. Go ahead. I want to shine too. Is that it?
Yes, can you make it bigger though? Are you
That's the
able to
biggest
make it
it
any
is.
bigger?
No.
Okay, well, can you click on one of those pictures to make it even bigger? So we know that this is Shelly and not you.
Listen, everybody knows I don't mean that. You know, oh, see how Shelly small and sexy. No, man, this is it. Yes, Missy. Yes,
Shelly in her fabulous red carpet attire.
yes, ma'am. You see the pose? You see the pose for the third one where she put her head? What?
I know, but when you blow it up, it gets so big. It's bigger than the screen itself.
Listen, I can't do no, but listen. Go on Shellz Sparkle's place, you'll see it.
So if you want to see the pictures, everybody, of her looking fabulous in that amazing blue dress, which she wore on her red carpet strut, go on Shellz Sparkle.
You know what just come to me a while ago?
Whitman. Let me tell the people I'm with to find her. SHELLZ Sparkle.
Yes, Sparkle.
Okay, on SHELLZ Sparkle on Facebook. Yes, go click on it, look it up. You'll see her pictures and everything. So, and check out her fabulous blue dress. So go ahead, Reese. I'm sorry.
Can you imagine if it was a picture that was unflattering? That come up on the screen? Lord of mercy.
To make me laugh.
Oh,
God.
OMG. All right.
Oh, you were too much. Reese, you were too much. I'm so glad it wasn't some real embarrassing picture because
I know, right?
But I have to kill
Lord
you.
of mercy. They would have shut down the damn radio station and everything.
Yeah.
I may not even see.
Shelly is like, yeah, no comment.
Shelly's like, you know, I'm used to this. This ain't nothing.
What a
Them two
mess.
guys.
Yeah. What a mess. But yes, so that we have June 24th. I want to remind everybody, look out for the Shy on
And we'll
Showtime.
definitely post it up on our page.
Right. And follow her on social media. You will see, because she will update you when it's coming and you all can watch it. Oh my goodness. And I know you can't talk, are there any other roles, film roles that you can mention right now or no?
Well, I could speak briefly, but I can't. Only when I could go into details. Babs, which I spoke to you guys about before. I'm going to be in the remake of Babs.
Right.
Yes.
Yes, I'll be revising the character that Halle Berry played, which is Nisi.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And don't you have a reality show coming out?
Wait,
Yes, I have a
before we talk
reality
about
show.
the reality show, before we talk about
Yes,
the
we
reality
can.
show, I like to give Shelly all the shine that we can. That's what we're here for, everybody. So
goes,
I'm gonna
"Shine like a
remind you, for the
The
people
reality show
on
is
the
gonna be
radio.
called-
Hold on, Shelly. Hold on, Shelly. I want to give you your just due. So what she just
Mm-hmm.
mentioned, for everybody on the radio or anywhere else that did not hear, she's going to be in the movie Baps. And if y'all watched this before, Halle Berry starred in the previous version of Baps that a lot of us have seen. It was directed by Robert Townsend. And Shelly is now going to be reprising that role in the movie Baps. That's another project she's working on, and she's going to be playing the role of that Halle Berry previously played, and this is a remake of Baps.
Yeah.
So that's another project that she has coming out, so be on the lookout for that. And now, Miss Shelly, tell us about is the reality show you're also doing?
Yes.
Okay.
It's going to be my own reality show called Life with Shellz, where, you know, they're going to be following me around my home life, my family life, me trying to, you know, get into the industry, the highs, the lows, just everything.
Wow, that's amazing. What is it like filming a reality? I'm always wondering, is it actually scripted or is it for real, just real?
No, it won't be scripted. So you guys are going to be able to see everything. And I know Drea wants to see that.
Oh, listen, I am a reality junkie, okay? I live for reality.
But nobody
You're gonna
wrote
see
you,
everything.
nobody gave you lines or told you what to say
No.
at this point. It's
No.
just all unscripted.
This is
whatever
going to
you
be all me.
Wow.
It's going to be all me.
That's awesome. Wow. Do you feel comfortable with that? I'm always wondering about, you know, like, do you feel comfortable with cameras everywhere? And if you scratch your
Girl,
butt,
I love a good camera.
of course.
But I think it's going to be different to have them in my household.
Yes.
But it's like, sometimes I'm probably going to be like, okay, why y'all still filming me? Like, I'm having a heated argument with my family, and like, you guys are going to get this, and then
not me.
they're going to be in control of editing.
Are they setting up cameras and leaving it in your house, or is there someone there filming the whole
They're going to set them up. What I worked out is at a certain time, I don't want nobody in my house. So the cameras will still be on, and I would have the ability to shut off at a certain time myself. But then, you know, they're going to be able to clock in at like 5 o'clock in the morning and get their footages and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Girl,
Life of a star, honey.
I
That's
would be
what.
getting up 2 o'clock in the morning, but
So it's going to be crazy because it's going to be like a big white production van in my driveway.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
And again, it's not just you, right? It's your family that has to get adjusted to this whole new thing.
You know what's going to be so funny? People that you never seen in years, all of a sudden, Shelly, come by, or because they want to be they want to be up in there, or you know what I'm saying? They want a little peek. They want to.
I already got my circle. I already know all my friends. I already know all my cousins. I already know who I need to know. So it ain't gonna be none of that.
Like,
that's important.
Oh, you know where we live. Oh, you know, I just came by to give you a Heineken.
Yes.
You don't want a Heineken.
No, I'm saying me. I'm saying I don't know where you live, but you're gonna be.
Drea, you're different, honey.
I'm gonna be like, where the camera at so I can give it the Heineken.
But you know what? What I learned with the reality show, everybody that's captured on there, they get a check.
Oh,
Yeah.
Farisi, you definitely need to go bring that Heineken over.
Shelly, I just can't.
And I have to have permission, like where I work, they're gonna have to have permission down at the building to set up cameras and stuff like that. So it's a lot of stuff that needs to be done.
Oh, so
So if I come to a paint bar, they're gonna have to have your permission to bring the cameras in there at the paint bar. And then you negotiate with them now your terms.
Oh, Reese, you about to get a check, girl.
No, let me stop. I'm gonna go out to Shelly workplace. I need some security. We
No,
need security.
I'll be
I need
going there and ringing the doorbell talking about, oh, did you say you wanted to borrow some sugar?
you need- oh, Shelly, I brought
But
lunch
it's
for
just
you.
exciting.
Yes, yes. It
But
is.
I'm like, I don't know how they're gonna spin it. How they're gonna spin it, because you know sometimes it check me, so I don't know how they're gonna spin it.
Yeah,
Shelly, pray.
they'll figure it out. But I'm
Listen,
sure you'll be working closely
You
with
know what
them
you need to
because-
do when you feel that time coming, to send out a group text and say, pray for me. That's all. When we see that pray for me, we know what time it is. We just
Yeah.
start praying. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
intervention
yeah.
time.
Yes,
Oh, well.
definitely.
Yeah. What's the name of the reality show you said again? I think you mentioned it.
Life with Shellz.
Life with Shellz. That's right.
Yes,
Do you
and it's going
know
to be produced by Warner Brothers Studio.
No,
Warner Brothers
you
Studio?
hear? She's not using a little rinky-dink production. She's
Yeah.
using Warner Brothers.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Do you have any idea when they might be trying to do this? Is it going to be for the fall? Is it going to be, in the winter time? Is it going to be next year sometime that they're kind of
We'll start filming. We'll start filming once I go back to work. I report back in about 2 to 3 weeks, so they're gonna start getting their initial footage and stuff like that, because they want to see me, in that element. But it's a lot of clearances and stuff that they have to go through, protocols and stuff like that.
right?
It's not just, oh, we're gonna take a camera and walk with her. Everything has to be cleared and stuff like that.
Right.
So you ready? Are you ready? Is you ready, girl?
Come on, girl. This lady is ready. She been ready.
As ready as I can be.
Okay.
I just know how I get sometimes. It's a reality show and I'm only human. I have my good days and my bad days. And when I have them bad days, I don't want to see nobody. I don't want to talk to nobody. I'm really quiet. A lot of people don't know that I'm quiet though, because they see me always like so sparkly and this and that. But this is my outside person. When I'm inside, I am so quiet. I'll grab me a book and this and that, and I love my music and what. But then have the camera like in my face like 24/7. Like, what are you doing here?
I know it's bad to say this, but if it's just one time we get to see you cuss up somebody.
You are gonna see that, and that's what I'm not ready for.
If it's just one time, because girl, you have me cracking up on Facebook where you go off. So I'm like, just give us a little.
And if the crazy thing is, this is gonna be like the first real Jamaican people on a reality TV show.
They're gonna have to have subtitles, okay?
Yeah, a whole Jamaican family on reality
You know how
TV.
Jamaicans are, baby. Like,
Yeah. Yes.
listen,
We're here for it.
I know Daddy's gonna be a part of that.
There's so much stereotype.
Huh?
There's so much stereotype, Shelly, about Jamaicans, right?
Yeah.
But now they'll get to see a real Jamaican family and see how the interactions work, and see the culture for real.
everything.
And then they're gonna love it more. Huh?
They're gonna see you buying up things for the barrels.
Oh, yep. They're going, what's that?
They're gonna see the siblings warring with each other and the stuff that we say to each other. But I can't really say it, but and you're like, what? So
What does that mean?
listen, and when Jamaican people start war, sometime what are your brother that? Like,
yeah.
Don't pray for me.
It's gonna be. I'm all in, girl. I am all
so entertaining though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because my whole family is like, we're all off the chain. We're all like,
You have a big family, Shelly? Is it a large family or a small family?
I have a large family, extremely large.
Oh, so that's one of the reasons that they wanted to do this reality show with you as well, because you have a large family. Because that makes it more interesting. Like for my family, I have a very small family, so it probably wouldn't be as interesting as yours. Yeah, I'll be watching.
Girl, it's a lot.
Well,
you guys are gonna see like my crazy brothers and just everything. Like,
don't you have a brother in entertainment too?
Yes, I have. Let me see. 3 of them trying to break out into the industry. I'm currently managing one of my brothers, Rich Don.
Okay.
Yeah. up and
So
coming
yeah,
rapper.
so you're the stepping stone, because that's what Toni Braxton did with her sisters.
Yes.
She went out first, and then she brought her siblings. So you stepping out will help them.
Mhm.
So definitely know
My
that.
dad, my dad was in the entertainment industry too. He had his record label down there in Jamaica and put on big stage show and them stuff there. So, this is nothing new to us. And I guess this is why I'm not shy, and none of us are shy.
Yeah.
Because we used to go to the concerts with daddy.
Wow. Wow.
Mhm.
So your history is coming from way back. You've been
Yeah,
in
I
this
grew up around that Beanie Man, Capleton, all of them people there.
I used to be a part of the Penthouse crew, so I kind of know about that when Penthouse was Penthouse.
You can look it up on you can look
Yeah.
it up. Reggae Kwanzaa. He used to keep it every year.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Reggae Kwanzaa.
Reggae Kwanzaa.
Wow.
Mhm.
Okay.
Had his own production company and stuff like that.
Oh, so your family is just destined to be in the limelight.
Yeah. And guess what I'm going to do with that? My dad has all the masters to all those recordings and stuff. I'm going to spin the block with it.
Yep.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yep.
Mhm.
I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. And your family has been in it for so long, and now here's an opportunity. Now you have the
Exactly.
spotlight. Yeah. I
You
don't
think
blame you.
Jamaica was on top? Wait, man, wait. We
Oh,
just
I'm
keep
so excited
doing
for
it.
you. Yes.
Yes.
That's right,
Yeah.
girl.
Mhm.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
just exciting.
I'm so excited for you. I'm glad that you're here today. We wanted you
Yes.
to come back because we wanted to hear when you were closer.
She
to-
did promise to come back too. And
Yes, and she is back. She kept that promise.
And I'm going to invite you guys to my premiere.
Oh, uh-oh.
Yes.
no
It's
more
on-
chicken wings
that's
until that
all
time.
the-
I can't eat no more chicken wings at all.
No more chicken wings till the premiere, till after the premiere, Reese. You
It would
hear?
be worth it.
So, when you're done, Dre, you send me the name and stuff like that. You get a guest, and you're going to be paying for accommodations and all that for you guys.
Ooh.
Tell
Well,
me
look at that.
twice. You
All
don't
you
have
gotta
to
do
tell
is
me.
show up and look fabulous.
Oh, yes.
All right, and so there go to 1,200 calorie diet.
Reese, you hear that? You better do your $1,200 diet
Down to
calories.
1,000.
That's right. So get rid of the chicken wings, because one chicken wing is more than 1,200.
The reason why you now say why you starving? I said, "Man, go with Shelly. I'm going
That's
to
right.
Shelly
Listen,
Sparkle."
listen, these people are gonna as soon as they see my crew, they're gonna be like, they with Shelly. Yeah.
Yep. No mistaking it.
No
No
mistake.
question about it.
They may question Carol.
Yeah, that's
They
Shelly's
may
people.
question Carol, because Carol, they may question Carol because Carol is Miss Tushy, you know. Miss,
You know that you me under the bus, you know. You every
go be like,
week, you know. Every week, you know.
Shelly, before we come, she's gonna give me a pep talk. Look here. You're going there and do not embarrass us.
Oh,
Do not
embarrass you.
Be on your best behavior, Reese. Don't go down there
Yeah.
and be acting a fool.
Come as you are. Just come as you are.
And I knew Shelly was gonna support her. I knew you were gonna support this.
I don't want no restriction. I don't want a restriction.
Carol, my love the arms are still enough.
Yes. No, Shelly, me know. Between the two of you, oh my gosh.
Carol Emmons, stop it, Andrea. Stop it, Reese.
Be
Stop
like,
it.
Reese.
Be on your best
But
behavior.
Drea
Reese.
might be the best behaved, because when you see some of my brother, you're probably gonna say, oh God,
Oh,
Oh my god.
she's
Oh
gonna be
my
well
God.
behaved.
I'll be like, Reese, you're comfortable now, man. You're in your element.
I'm
See?
in my element.
Yes,
Right.
man.
And if I can't act the fool, I don't want to go there. I cannot be restricted.
Listen, I know when to have fun. You hear that, Shelly? Don't make she tell you nothing. Okay?
Welcome and have fun.
Another show. That's another show.
See, every week you throw me under the bus, Reese. You.
But Shelly, we are so. You would think that I'm in Shelly's team. The way I'm so happy for her. Like I love your journey. You motivate me, because I told you that times I feel like I just wanna.
Yeah.
But you give me that pep talk, and I'm like, persistent. And I love that with you. I love it, and it just shows
You're
what
welcome.
hard work does.
Yeah.
And whatever knocks you down, you
Let me
just
tell you
get up.
something. Everything starts with believing in yourself first. Because even if I didn't make it this far and I got like 1,000 no's, as long as I believe in myself, and when I look in that mirror, self tell me what I'm going to be, I'm going to keep on going. So it all starts with self.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
love that you said that, Shelly. Thank you so much for saying that again, because we can't stress that enough on the show. You've got to believe in yourself. And I personally like that too, because like I said, I've dealt with fear for a long time, and fear is a thing, we all have it. And a lot of times I even doubt myself, and it's like, wait, why?
Yeah.
So when I see you also on your journey, it motivates me as well. And I'm like, you were operating with all the back pains and all of this stuff you had, and still hopping on planes, going places in pain. And I was like, oh my gosh, she is so inspirational.
I don't even want to go up the street, much less. I
gotta do what I want it that bad. How bad do you want it? Are you gonna let your limitations stop you?
Yeah.
How bad do you want it? I want it bad.
And
for
the people who know you, they know what you were going through, and knowing how difficult that was. So, and the other people who don't know you, I just want you all to hear this, because she was going through so much excruciating pain and doing this filming and being up practically 24 hours a day with this pain that you were having to deal with. So thank you for sharing your journey.
And thank you for coming
I'm a fighter. And thank you for having me.
And I know we're gonna see you again when they get bigger. We're gonna see you until you're like,
listen, this is my home. This show is my home.
Yes, girl.
I'm
so excited.
Thank you for that.
When I go on the other talk shows, I'm gonna be like, look, I was on Let's Konnect first.
That's right. And those girls supported me and pushed me.
And I was up and coming. Y'all reaching out to me because I arrived.
That's right. That's right. And for anybody who's listening right now and you're wondering, well, why is she on the show? It's May. What's the date today? It's May 23rd. Why is she on the show right now? And, even though your show is you're not premiering on the Shy until June 24th, when the show premiere. But the fact is, this is a busy lady, everybody.
Of course.
She's busy. And the closer it gets to the premiere of her show, naturally, she's probably going to have a whole bunch more press junkets to do and all of this stuff. And she won't have time. And we're not going to take it personally, because you made time for us. Right. And we're telling everybody, mark your calendars. June 24th is in a few weeks.
The minute I saw when she said she got shot, I texted her when you can't come on the show. Because I know, right, Shed? I said, when you can't come on the show, because I know
Drea was ready.
Yeah, you're going to be super busy, and you won't have time to come back, because you're going to be doing a lot more, and your management company and your agent.
And
all that.
I don't have my phone. I don't have devices sometimes, because another thing is, when you go, you have to turn in anything that can record or anything like that. I have to turn on my watch, my cell phone, tablets, everything.
Wow.
I can't have recording devices on me. Nothing.
Wow. Nothing. It's top secret. They don't want you to leak anything until they're ready to do it.
Because listen, you know me, I'm a picture person. I'd have been snapping pictures left and right.
They're like, hand it in, hand it over. As soon as you come through the door, drop everything here.
And when you're on break, you give your phone back. And then, you can make certain calls sometimes, because they jam the phone line sometimes too. So you can't make phone calls. You can't even get a multimedia message. You can't go on social media while you're there, because they don't want you to get on live or anything. Like the lines are like, it's top notch in these places.
Wow.
And they're like, I'm like, but I want pictures. They're like, well, we take all the pictures, and when we want to release them to you, we release them to you so you can share on your own personal platforms.
So it's not as easy as we think it is being an actress. There's a lot of red tape and a lot of restrictions, and
it's a lot of do's, don'ts, and contracts, and this and that, and it's a lot.
I would stay right here in the normal world.
Huh?
I would stay right here and enjoy looking at, watching movies and stuff, because it's too much. That's too much. But
If
I
you
guess
say
if you
one
want
thing
it,
wrong, you breach the confidentiality that you're under.
but that breach
It's a lot. So even talking to you guys right now, I have to be mindful of what I say.
Of course.
Right. You see me now, but I breach mine every week, especially if me I drink. You understand? So it better.
Drea, there's a thing called lawsuit.
Yes.
Was stay
Yes.
right here, drink my little Heineken, and talk my business. And because I would be a breach every week.
Listen, it's either that you either get sued or they drop you from the project.
Yes. And
Because
either one would be detrimental.
You're still bound by contract. If you're dropped, you can't speak about anything.
Right. And I always see when they give interviews, they said, well, I can't give away much, but what I can give,
yeah, exactly. And you definitely don't want to get dropped. You work too hard.
You work too hard for
that project. So why would you want to get dropped? It's like,
exactly.
It's not worth it. So with that, my dear, we will not press you. And that's why we didn't press you too much to talk about anything, because we certainly would not want you getting in any kind of trouble.
Before I came on the show, remember when we were conversing, I said, let me try to see if I could get some permission. Yeah. And I didn't get the permission to be able to, speak to you about certain things, but they're working on it. So the next time I come back, I'll be able to dive in.
All right.
Well, I would love for you to come back when the shine is on and we see you on there.
See you in action.
Yes. Yeah. So that way we can put your.
You know what, Carol, I have to give Carol her props. Carol, you being a voiceover actress. Yeah. That is so hard.
Oh yes, I remember.
That is so hard because I had finished shooting The Shy and some of my stuff weren't clear. I had to fly back within a week's time to go do voiceovers. And it was so hard because the same energy that I had while I was actually physically filming, I had to sound the same way.
Yes.
And it was so hard. It's not, you're just sitting down and you're just, no, you stand up and you got to be active while you're doing that. So I give my props to you for being a voiceover actor.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you so much. It is so hard. A lot of people don't know that. And that's why a lot of times when I talk to people, they're like, voice acting, what is a voiceover? What is a voice actor? But you have on-screen actors like you are, and then you have voice actors like myself who are behind the screen. When you're doing that, like you said, you have to match the energy, of whatever the person on screen. If you were running in that scene and you're behind the camera and you have to be running in the spot, you have to be running in to get that sound out, to make it sound that way. If you were laughing, you have to put on that laugh.
Too much. It's too much.
No, it was really hard. And another thing I learned is I can be the one physically doing the work, but say I had a problem with like pronunciation or whatever, they will get Carol to voice me while I'm doing the acting, and it's Carol voice, but it looks like it's me speaking, but it's really Carol.
And you have to sync it up with the, the person's mouth. It has to sync.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. So I give my hat off to you. I was like, listen, this voiceover work ain't for me, baby. It's not. Put me on set in real time.
Yeah.
I did 15 hours worth of voiceovers because I kept on messing up.
So that's the other thing. I wasn't going to say it, but I'm glad you mentioned it, because even when you're doing voiceover, you have to keep on doing it over. You mess up a lot. And in our daily lives, when we're talking to each other like this, a lot of times we stumble over our words, but we just keep going. But if you're doing voice acting work, you can't keep going. You have to get it right.
It's really hard. I lost my voice.
Thank you, my dear.
I lost my voice.
Thank you. And I'm so glad that you said that. And I appreciate you for saying that. So with that,
you're welcome.
Thank you for coming on and chatting with us today.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yes.
To have you back. As long as you want to come back with us, we will be happy to have you.
You are family.
All right. My people are gonna reach out to you.
Yes,
probably today or tomorrow.
Yes, your people can talk to my people, because my people is greasy.
I got people now.
Have your people talk to our people.
Yes, they're gonna reach out to you about the premiere.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Thank you guys so much for the opportunity to come here and spotlight me. Thank you guys for giving me a shout out every week. I really
All the
appreciate it.
time.
Thank you, thank
Of
you, thank
course.
you. Thank you for the continuous support. Because
And
I
you
need
know
it right now.
our
You guys are not
timeline.
waiting until I'm up there. You guys are giving it to me while I'm still building. And that's, you know, the whole merit.
Yep, and our timeline will be flooded with the Shy premiere. The Shy,
Yeah,
you
you're
know,
gonna get so busy. You're
yes,
gonna
I
get
already
so
know
busy.
Drea. I already know.
We
Drea,
were
do
like,
you
we gotta
sleep?
snatch her up now. Snatch her
yes.
before she gets busy.
Drea, do you
Once that
sleep?
show premieres.
If I sleep, girl,
Yes.
you sit. No,
I think we're on the
No.
same sleeping schedule. Because
I
I'm on Facebook and Drea's on Facebook posting. And I'm like, why did woman not sleep?
Sleep.
man,
What's
I'm telling
that?
you, I trust me. I want you to blow up. You know, I
Thank
want you
you.
to blow
And I
up
am.
and
And I
represent
will.
the yardies to let them know it's a hard work. We can make it anywhere.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
So you
Hard
gonna
work
make it,
and
girl.
dedication.
Yes.
Yes.
You got to be dedicated.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my love. And once again, whenever you're
All
ready
right,
to come on,
guys.
you always can come. Your family now. Well, you've been
All
family
right.
from day
Thank you.
one.
All right, cousins.
All
We
right.
cousins. All cousins.
Yes, Hunt. Yes, Hunty. And when your reality show starts, don't be surprised. Me bringing you some Hurricane.
I'll be bringing the sugar.
Where y'all come mix Kool-Aid? Y'all come
Yes,
make the Kool-Aid.
yes. I'll be making the Kool-Aid in there
New
going. I'm
Jersey,
bringing the
New
sugar.
Jersey sugar is better than the Florida sugar. So she's gonna fly all
Uh-huh.
the way for bringing you the sugar.
I'm flying all the way from New York to bring you some sugar, honey, because I'm getting on that.
So
kid.
we're definitely going to come to the paint march to get some footage and stuff like that.
Yes.
You let me
Mhm.
know when I said we
I was
can't
gonna
fix
do
up
the
myself.
paint bar on Friday, but you know the weather
Weather.
wasn't cooperating. I wasn't there.
When you come back next time, definitely we will have a little event. You know,
All right. Yes.
with
Plan it nicely so that it's nice and big and busy, and you know what to do, girl. You got that.
Mhm.
yes, Hunty. All right, my
Yes.
love.
Thank you for
Thank you
coming,
so much for
Shelly.
coming on.
We will chat with you again. Keep us posted on the premiere, and after it premieres, you come back, you bring us pictures, and you bring us all that good stuff.
All
All
right.
right.
Thank you, my
Have
love.
a
Much
good night.
success.
Night. Bye.
All right.
Woo. Yes, child.
Love her. Oh my
Of
gosh.
course. Of
She's
course.
amazing.
I was ready. You see me come with the thing.
I
No,
know.
no coffee. No
Love
tea.
her. I love her
Yes.
energy so much.
Definitely.
It's like, I know some people are gonna be like, it's so weird how much they love that girl. But you know what? We support, we support all good people who are
Yeah.
looking to do something and who are positive about what they're doing.
That's what the show is about.
That's what it's about. And if you guys watch any of our shows and you listen to our previous shows, you know what we're about. Okay. So, and that's what we do here on this platform. And since we have a platform and we have an
Why not use
international
it?
audience, why not use it? And why not use it for good?
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. With everything that's going on now in the world.
Y'all
You
better
know?
support that lady. She's amazing,
Yes.
and you're going to be seeing her, and you don't want to support her after she's already on top. Because
I don't know why Shelly gonna tell me say she gonna invite me to premiere because hunting 1,000 calorie diet.
You
You
are
hear-
1,000. Oh my gosh.
What?
I
They're
wish
gonna be
you all the
like,
best.
Andrea, what?
1,000 calories.
1,000 calorie diet.
That's
No.
one of your chicken wings that you love to eat so much.
I'm gonna divorce chicken wing right
Just
now.
divorce the chicken wings, girl. Just
Listen,
forget about it.
I got a vision. I got a goal. Okay.
Wait. So now we're gonna have to we're gonna go live to our in a minute to our other live here on Instagram and chat with our folks there as well and let everybody know about Miss Shelly.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So, but before we get off of here, we just want to thank everybody. We love you guys. We see you. We see your comments. Oh, I am loving it. Thank you all for joining us. Ashley, Petty Queen. What's up, my dear? We have Rena, Godchild. Thank you guys for joining us. We
I
have
know.
so many folks who came on.
They really
and
supported our
Shelly.
girl.
Yes.
I love
Came
that.
on. We love that you came on and supported Shelly. And in turn, you supported us because you were here with us listening to us. So we love you guys. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you. And perhaps since you now know about us, maybe you'll join us on a weekly basis as well.
Yeah.
Don't just support Shelly.
Yes,
Support
we
us
do
too.
this every Monday.
Every Monday at 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. We're here every Monday and we chat just like this and support amazing people like Shelly every week on this show. Okay. So you joined us today. Thank you. We love you guys so much. But come on back with us every Monday evening. And if you can't watch us on our Facebook Live, just listen to us on the radio. It's
And we have a podcast.
And we have a podcast. And when we're done, go ahead, Reese. You tell me.
We have the podcast and we have YouTube. So go to our YouTube channel, subscribe, and you'll see all the shows that we have done so far. All right. So there's no reason for you not to listen to us. All right.
Right. That's right, everybody.
Like it and share it because we do have some good time. We have fun and we get serious too. So we balance it out. It's not always fun and it's not always serious.
Exactly. We have a nice balanced mix. So share it with your friends, share it with your family so that we can also get the support that we need. We bring a lot of great topics. We bring a lot of educational stuff as well that more people in our communities should have information that everybody should know about. It's so funny. Even recently, I was having a chat with my family about one of the topics we do on the show. We were talking about wills and creating a will and creating the difference between a will and creating a trust and, you know, what you should do and creating a life insurance policy and what's the importance of that. You know, we talk about stuff like that on the show and we bring the experts on to educate all of us, myself included. And we talk about all this stuff, different things every week. Last week, we talked about mental health and suicide prevention. And we had two amazing guests who came on. And actually, one of them was Reese's son and talked about their suicidal attempts, actual attempts, you know, and it's really, really gripping. And it's a reminder of how precious life is and how we support one another. Because if we see somebody going through difficulty, we should be there. So we talk about different topics like that for those of you who don't know. So come on back with us every week and support us so we can reach more people. We can help more people. We can support more fabulous people like Shelly. We love you, everybody. We thank you. We will see you next Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is the show called Let's Connect, the show where you find
more compassion,
more empathy, and less judgment. Thank you, everybody. We love you, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. Ooh, hold on.